How is everybody doing today? My name is Master Zero, and welcome back to another reaction video. This time we are reacting to Red Dead No Redemption by exurb1a. Alright, so I apologize for the lack of videos for the week, but my microphone broke, and as you can see in the background, I changed my room slightly. Everything's kinda... it went that way, if that makes no sense, hand movement wise. But yeah, I changed stuff around, but sadly, my microphone, the little cord thing, just snapped in half, so I was like, great. So I had to wait for that to come into the mail, and then I went to town, so I could have just bought it anyway, but then I already ordered it, so I had to wait for that to come in, so it was fun. So no videos, I apologize. But I did shorts, and thank you guys so much for watching the shorts. It was really, really cool. But yeah, on to exurb1a. It's been a hot minute since I reacted to a exurb1a video, but going back to the, I don't know if you would... it's like he's having an existential crisis, like, every single time you watch a video, and it's just really, really enjoyable stuff. So I've been talking way too long, so without any further ado, here is Red Dead No Redemption.
If you were choosing a house, and one was open plan, had picturesque views, 57 million square miles of land, 5 oceans, a breathable atmosphere, and meerkats, and the other house was a barren hellscape with poisonous soil, a poisonous atmosphere, a constant barrage of deadly cosmic radiation, and zero meerkats.
Talking about Mars?
I mean, you'd pick the nice one, right? Because you spent millions of years evolving to live there, and there's land galore, and plenty of resources, and if you treat it properly, it could be a veritable paradise. They're depleting humans and nature living in perfect harmony. Where the fuck are you going? But if you really insist on visiting Mars, then we'll have to get there.
I love exurb1a.
Spacey school first, where you'll be treated to a variety of psychologists in your brain and a variety of cameras up your ass. Then a ride up through the atmosphere on a barely
literally
controlled
or metaphorically.
Bon voyage. Off we go then. Unless your spaceship uses spinny sci-fi rings,
play on words?
To zero gravity, meaning you can now look forward to space adaptation syndrome, or SAIS. Your precious bodily fluids will now redistribute and puff your head up. Your lunch will probably pop out of your tummy for a second viewing. Your spine will now begin to stretch out by a few centimeters. Let's see how that goes when you get back to gravity. And maybe debilitating kidney stones from your bones losing calcium, and cancerous radiation from cosmic rays. We are not made for space. On average, Mars is about 142 million miles from Earth, but every 26 months it gets close enough for humans to pop across. Traveling with current tech, that'll probably take around 7 months. And during that time,
that's actually not that bad.
Eaten from bags, no booze, obviously, and let's just hope you like drinking recycled piss. As the NASA motto goes, today's coffee is tomorrow's coffee. But that's not all, because
you're being efficient.
You now inescapably share a double-decker bus with a bunch of potentially highly irritating humans for the next 7 months. On top of
Dead Space up in here, let's go.
The window ats is little oodle doodles on a black background, interspersed with occasional breaks for a nice cup of piss java. On top of that, medical problems and dental issues, unexpected space pregnancy. The nearest hospital is millions of miles back the way you came. But assuming you've avoided technical failure, psychological failure, deadly micrometeoroids, hopefully you've made it to Mars. Pick a nice spot for landing and prepare for 10 minutes of terror. Even though the atmosphere of Mars is about 100 times less dense than Earth's, that means it's enough to burn stuff up, but not thick enough to make parachutes very effective. You'll need some variation of an aeroshell to protect the spacecraft booty, a parachute to slow things down a bit, and probably retro rockets to get to the surface undeaded. And if you still haven't gone mad, sad, or irradiated, and you sat down alright, best of luck standing up. You've just got used to zero gravity, and now gravity is back. The world will go 10 tequila shots wibbly with your eyes fighting your vestibular system. Your body thinks it's been poisoned. Vertigo and horrific nausea could go on for weeks. But if you can power through, snap a boot print on the Martian surface for us idiots back home, 10 points to Gryffindor. Humanity has gone interplanetary. That's one small step for a suicidal astronaut. One giant leap for whoever happens to be into big, barren balls of sweet fuck all.
Nothingness?
Because that's where you are now.
Settlers, here we go.
You've made the history books, but that ain't gonna keep you
I had
alive.
no idea this was about Mars, by the way. Like colonizing Mars, that's amazing.
Maybe not.
It's one of my favorite games.
Either way, you'll need your own breathable air, because Mars don't have that. Mars's atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide. That's the stuff we breathe out, not in.
You can make
3%
plants,
nitrogen. Or plant food. You are not a plant.
Poop potatoes.
And 2%
like that one movie, The Martian.
Argon. Now, maybe you can make oxygen from carbon dioxide using a process called electrolysis, but that is going to take lots of power, and unless you brought a nuclear reactor with you or something,
or an arc reactor.
Good luck. Anyway, duties of yours will probably include scouting the area for prime real estate for those who come after you, a spot of geology, geography, and trying not to die. And get a load of your new hood. The tallest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, the largest canyon in the solar system, Valles Marineris, and hope your beach body is ready because maximum temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Hope your beach coffin is ready because minimum is minus 140. A Mars day is only 37 minutes longer than ours. There'll also be 4 seasons, just like Earth, and feel free to step outside and die in any of them. Oh, watch out for dust storms. They can get 20 miles high and spread across the entire planet for months.
Yeah, Mars is death, my guy.
Called Mars's 2 moons fear and panic, and there's a reason for that. Now, we think there's still frozen water on Mars, maybe liquid water deep under the surface. Hopefully you found some of that, and hopefully it isn't full of deadly lurking pathogens. Talking of which, old Martian water might mean
can you imagine the
life,
bacteria and disease on a different planet?
Yeah, possibly fuck no. Because if the remains of life are found, there's 2 possibilities. Either we confirm that it's an ancient ancestor of Earth life,
either way's bad.
Somehow we swapped microbes with Mars ages ago, and we're all descended from the same stuff. Interesting, for sure. Or there's no connection to Earth, meaning it's really real alien life. And one massive thing we don't know about the universe is how common is life just arising in the first place. Well, if the remains of alien life, even microbes, are found on Mars, that means life began independently on 2 out of 8 planets in our solar system alone.
So who's to say there's not more?
Pretty good odds. And
very
if
good
we apply
odds.
Those odds to the rest of the universe, there are probably at least thousands of Earth-like planets in our galaxy alone, billions considering all the other galaxies, and that's nice, and that's swell,
this is the
but
stuff
if
I
life is so common, where is everyone then? Where is anyone? Well, maybe alien life doesn't evolve into complex organisms very often. Or maybe it does, but civilizations wipe themselves out with some technology waiting for us a few hundred years into our own future.
It's kind of like that other video. I think it was
someone is meticulously wiping them out. Something to rustle the existential jimmies in any case.
Yeah.
Still, your launch window will come around in a few months. Off your trot. The next lot of human parasites to arrive might start thinking about actually sticking around for a while, as in permanent digs. And for them, radiation will be a big issue.
This is like surviving Mars.
And
it looks the same. That's really cool.
All things being equal, humans on Mars would receive 50 times as much radiation as they would living on Earth. Lava tubes could be an idea. They're underground, that'll help. There might be some decent ones at a spot called Hellas Planatia, for example. And if humans can seal a section off and pressurize it, and with the help of a nuclear reactor, oxygen extraction from the atmosphere, etc., yeah, maybe. Alternately, Mars is covered in crushed rock.
It's a huge maybe,
everywhere.
My guy.
We don't know yet if you can make durable concrete from the stuff, would be neat for building with, but again, radiation. So some kind of protective shell would be needed if humans are living up top. And covering everything in a layer of regolith might do the trick for shielding solar and cosmic nasties. In any case, underground, overground, wombling free, if humans can find enough power, water, and protection from radiation, it won't be pretty living, but maybe, for whatever godforsaken reason anyone would live on Mars,
the first steps is going to be hard. Could be. Oh!
Now, making babies on Mars will not be a problem. There's enough gravity for that. Having babies, though, God knows what happens to a developing fetus on Mars, if conception is even possible. But this is all made up anyway, so assuming radiation hasn't damaged the mum or child during gestation, congratulations, it's a Martian, the first one ever. And just by being born, he or she will perhaps instantly become one of the most famous humans ever to exist. Talk about peaking early. Now, Mars is unlikely to be a state by then, so if maritime law applies, he or she will probably inherit the citizenship of their parents. All the same, the first ever native Martian will no doubt be adorable in that irritating baby way. Tiny
is it that easy to be a king?
Handsies, but with bones and a heart that will develop in Martian gravity. Just 38% of Earth's. They may never be able to visit Earth, not without some miraculous technology. Our gravity will be exhausting, possibly fatal. But if you're of a certain age, you know what happens when one of your mates has a baby.
Planet.
Suddenly everyone wants one. Resource permitting,
you get stronger.
Become more little Martians then. Living effectively in a submarine is all they will know. And they'll be told stories, of course, of another planet.
That is so sad.
Somewhere, with oceans and zebras and skyscrapers.
But you can't see any of it.
A benevolent blue sky. This will
it's like Gundam.
Signal a change in the colony
Iron-Blooded
from
Orphans
to homesteaders. They need
one of my favorite
now,
Gundam series, by the way.
And pharmacologists to cook up whatever brand
it's about
liquid
kids like
Martians.
Martians.
New parents going fucking postal. They're generational. They're a proper settlement.
Oh man!
And hopefully with enough
fertilizer
and detoxification, addition,
cool.
Martian soil can support a crop yield to foster a growing population. Who knows? And
Who knows?
what do Martians do all day anyway? Why would Earth have funded a Martian operation for so long? It really depends on what we find there. If rare resources
that is true.
are abundant,
like maybe we'll find
export
something really cool there. We don't know.
Mars has less than half the gravity
Doesn't
of
look
Earth,
like it,
and
but
if rocket fuel can be made
Never
in
know.
abundance, interplanetary logistics, Mars to
apologize.
Earth, would be way cheaper than the other way around. Asteroid mining also wouldn't be the worst idea if we're going all sci-fi. Between Jupiter and Mars is
Just
our
crank
solar
that to
system's
11.
main asteroid belt. It's only about 4% the mass of Earth's moon, but full of iron,
Never tell me the
nickel,
odds.
cobalt, vibranium, billions and billions of dollars worth of materials. And considering Mars is
doing, No Man's
closer,
Sky.
and again
Shoot
easier
asteroids.
to launch stuff into orbit from, could be the basis of an economy, maybe. But whatever happens next,
Every time he
really
says something,
depends
he's
on
like,
whether
maybe,
Martians
I don't
can
know.
achieve energy independence from Earth. If they're forever relying on us for isotopes or materials, they'll forever be a satellite of the mother planet. If they don't have to, though, that would be interesting, because they're 20 minutes away by radio and months away by rocket. And if you leave isolated settlers in one place, they do what humans always do. Culture, inventing new dialects, new
same thing, right?
traditions, and with that, a sense of independent Martian solidarity. They probably have their own flag and catchy anthems about how Mars is bestest planet. Perhaps they'll
Picture
start
it
having
electronic,
little
but
chats
they
amongst
probably wouldn't
themselves
have
about how they're getting bored
electronics.
with the Earth supervision thing.
Like,
but
for
we know
entertainment.
what happens when a distant state or multinational has an isolated group of people just where it wants them, and the issue of independence gets raised. The reply from corporate usually goes something like, listen, you just keep doing or producing or exporting whatever it is of yours we like so much, and in return you'll be more than fairly compensated with a tea break once a year, and pitifully small payment, if any at all, and even more brutal working conditions. And if you don't like it, feel free to eat that big bag of dicks over there. And every now and then, if sufficiently irate, perhaps these isolated people respond, thanks, that sounds great. Small digression though.
It's like the free pizza when you ask for a raise.
Lemon, but yeah,
like,
we
yeah, it's
prefer
cool,
it in the
but
Boston Harbor, you fucks. $15, little man. Pay us
Put that
fair
shit
and
in my
certainly
hand.
sell a
I know
trading
that.
company right up your fundament. We want meerkats.
Oh my
and
god.
passports.
Yes.
And fuckloads of meerkats.
Meerkats.
We'll found our own Martian government with our own parliamentary shouting
Let's go.
people and everything. And we'll do democracy better. We'll do
Democracy.
neutrality better. We'll fuck everything up better than you ever could. No one's had
You
a
don't
power
know.
for 2 generations. So take your quarterly reports and your taxation without representation and fuck
That is
right
exactly
off,
what would
you
happen, though.
ocean-hogging,
That's what happened in America.
atmosphere-breathing cunts.
Oh, you said the hard C. My guy.
They grow up so fast.
Dual flaws. Oh, that was delightful. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, it's not over. Oh, I apologize.
About 3 billion years ago, when the human race was a mere twinkle in Darwin's
is this the sad part?
it's likely that Mars had an ocean. Over time, the planetary core cooled, and the great magnet at the heart of the world shut down.
Oh.
And without a magnetic field for protection, solar winds began to attack,
I didn't know
stripping
anything about
away
this.
the atmosphere while the water below was evaporated, as life flourished next door for 3,000 million years. But if we make the trip there sometime soon, though the first settlers to Mars
God, the
may
mood
arrive in
changed
hell,
very,
they
very
would surely prefer Eden. Can we do that? Can we bring a planet back from the dead? Well, no, probably not us. We're barely managing the house we grew up in.
Yeah, for
But
real.
our
Maybe we
kids'
should
kids'
focus on the one
kids
we're
might
living
give it
on,
a
you know?
go, if the technology is there. For starters, they would need to recreate Mars's long-dead magnetic field, its magnetosphere. And one fun and pleasantly insane idea for this
artificial
is
magnetic
engineering
field.
a torus, or donut, of plasma around the planet by firing off particles from Phobos,
love the way
Mars's
that
larger
looks.
moon. But this stuff is all probably science for later this century, or the next. And even with
the next.
magnetic shielding, the atmosphere is thinner than airline toilet paper and too chilly for humans anyway.
Okay.
Well, a bit of global warming then? CO2 and CFCs are terrible for our atmosphere, but released into Mars's atmosphere by the kiloton would be one way to thicken and warm
I
things
remember
up.
one of the videos
But
I reacted
even
to
then,
talking about
if the
that.
air is nice and toasty,
Pretty
we
sure it
still
was in a
can't
nutshell.
breathe it.
Usually is.
Cyanobacteria gifted Earth with oxygen via photosynthesis, but that took millions and millions of years. Even
Shit.
if cyanobacteria is capable of living on Mars, or genetically engineered algae or something, making Mars air breathable with
Algae
photosynthesis
will
is
work.
likely to take centuries, if
Theoretically.
not a millennium, if not longer. Though, if it's possible, perhaps as back on Earth we grimly mark the successive milestones of environmental decline, our Martian cousins will watch their world for the opposite. the first cloud.
That's cool to think about, though.
The first blade of grass, an anthill, the first lover's picnic outside.
Like everything we take for granted here and abuse,
settlers, but
they will think is like
full terraforming may just not be possible. Some areas of science are dead ends. There's a reason alchemy jobs are so hard to come by these days. But from our current vantage point in history, there is a case for the possibility of resurrecting Mars. And wherever else humans of the solar system
gotta keep that hope alive, man.
Turn into,
I know I just said focus on the one we're on, but it's exciting stuff, man, going to a different planet.
Self-sufficient settlement on Mars. A single delicate cell of planetary civilization will have divided in two, with the terrible burden of cosmic survival carried on two backs now, making the weight lighter for both. There's a good bit near the end of the movie 2010, when the story is almost wrapped up, and non-corporeal, omnipotent aliens deign to communicate with humanity.
Hey, wait a minute.
Just once. A message addressed to all of us.
42.
And paraphrased, the message reads, "All these worlds are yours. Use them together. Use them in peace."
Oh. Oh, I like that. That's like everything I stand for.
Hi, thanks for staying until the bitter end. I wrote a story a while ago called Geometry for Ocelots, and just a mere year after the ebook came out, it's cover now too. There's
holy crap!
Below if you want to get hold of the paperback, there's a link below if you don't. It works equally well as a doorstop, a beverage mat, and perhaps a tarpaulin for any itinerant mice passing through your premises. It's a 1,000-year.
Oh my god, I love his humor, my guy.
Religious empire and a scientific empire, really. But with Buddhism and transhumanism along for the ride.
Let's go.
It took a while to get into print, but of all the stories I've written, this is one of them. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it.
Okay.
I hope you're keeping
well. The best selling point ever. It's one of them.
In good health. I hope you recently enjoyed a game of backgammon. I hope you're on the verge of emerging from a personal crisis. I hope the air temperature is optimal wherever you happen to be.
It's optimal, you know.
I hope you found your purpose in life. I hope you worked out what was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. I hope you recently...
Yeah, I figured that out, right? It was something. Could have been his soul, I guess. People were saying it was his soul. I mean, now I'm rambling at the end of the video, so I'm probably just gonna... Alright, so that video was something else, man. I mean, with the title, Red Dead No Redemption, I mean, now, looking back at it in hindsight, yeah, the red planet is Mars, so obviously he's talking about cultivating Mars and stuff like that, but going into this, I had no idea what it's about, and I'm gonna stop acting like I know what the video is talking about, because with exurb1a, he always, like, shifts totally different, or the title doesn't even match the video in the first place. But this was something else. This was cool. I noticed a lot of parallels with that other video. I forgot what video it was, but I know I'm pretty sure it's In a Nutshell, the video about surviving Mars or cultivating Mars or something like that. And I also play Surviving Mars, the game, like on Steam, which is really, really cool. If you like stuff like this, like Oxygen Not Included and stuff, you should really check that game out. It's really cool. But yeah, just stuff about that, it gets you really, really excited, but then you got to think about like all the negative stuff they have to go through to try to make this functional, like try to populate or make Mars just livable. Like, let's start the first step. Make it livable. That's going to be so hard. And like he said, like trying to plant grass, that will take like millions of years alone. So I don't know, like hopefully something is waiting for us, or like I said in the video, I think twice, like we should probably focus on the one we're at now. Like once we get all our shit together, like renewable energy and everything's tip-top shape, then we could look through to the horizon and look at like different planets and Mars and start cultivating that. Because in all honesty, it is exciting stuff, but I think we need to focus on Earth for the meantime. So with that said, that was really, really cool. I enjoyed this video a lot. It was really cool. It's so exurb1a. I mean, obviously I'm gonna like it so much. So with that said, thank you everybody so much for watching. I have been Master Zero. Y'all guys have been fantastic. Leave a like down below, subscribe, ring the bell, check out the merch, and become a member. You get a video a day early. So with that said, I have been Master Zero. Y'all guys have been fantastic, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Later days.